Hey, Lawman Mike with www.lawmanguitars.com. Hey, I've got a really cool Gibson 12-string for you to look at today. This is a 1967. I know it doesn't look like it, but this is a 1967 Gibson B-45-12-N. Now, just explaining to Brian that the difference between this and the smaller one, the B-25, is the size. This is the big boy. This is the big cowboy here. This is the big dreadnought. Now, the B-25 is a little narrower, and you won't get the sound that you're going to get out of this big one like this. Now, I want to point out a couple things right away. First of all, the tailpiece had been broken by the previous owner. It broke down. They replaced it with this very cool vintage correct tailpiece, which of course is not a Gibson, but I left it on there because it looks so cool. I just think that's an awesome tailpiece. This came from one of my finders, and we had to repair a couple things in it to make it right. They had a crack right in through here. They went all the way underneath the pickguard. I don't think it went all the way to the end, but about here is where it ended. And those are very typical in these big 12 strings. There's so much pressure on that neck that brings it this way. They start cracking right here in the sound hole. You'll notice a lot of them crack all the way down through here. I've got a Martin that cracked all the way down. So it's very typical in these. It's a pretty expensive repair, so a lot of times guys just play them anyway without fixing it. We don't do that here at Lawman. We fix them. We've got a great luthier here in town. He took the pickguard off, which is a job in itself because they're very thin. Want to make sure you don't break them. He got the pickguard off, repaired the crack, cleated it completely, put in a new brace in there even to help hold it so it won't ever break again, and then re-glued our pickguard down. Did a just fantastic job. Now, the other thing I want to explain to you is how this guitar is constructed. A lot of these that you'll see has a fixed tailpiece here as opposed to here. This one has the floating tailpiece with the adjustable bridge on it. A lot of guys say, well, they sound better if you just have the one here and it's not hung back here, which, you know, I guess that's some people's ears. That's fine. That's your guitar. That's great. That's what you want to do. Here's why they did this, though, in this configuration is because when you have that fixed tailpiece that's glued here, you've got a tremendous amount of pressure with 12 strings pulling these bridges up, and you'll start getting gaps back in here. You'll get cracks. You'll get all sorts of stuff that you won't get with the way these guitars were designed. So I like leaving them the way they are because now the pressure is spread over the whole top, and you're not going to get all this pressure right in here, and your top won't start bellying or pulling this way, which will happen a lot of times too, which is another problem with these big 12 strings. This one does not have problems. The only problem it had, we fixed. Now, it's a 24 3/4 inch scale neck, so it's going to feel very comfortable to everybody. However, it does have a 2-inch wide nut. Yes, you heard me right. 2 inches. This is a massive neck on this guitar, which I noticed right away when I started playing. It's like, whoa, I better get this one done quick before my hands freeze up on me. It's a really wide neck for someone that's got little hands like I do. But it plays wonderfully up and down the neck. We looked, and we don't think the neck has ever been reset, nor does it need it. That's something you always worry about on these guitars is, yeah, that looks beautiful, but does it need a neck reset? Because it's expensive to do that. This one does not. It plays great all the way up the neck. And it sounds wonderful. I was doing a little research. This is a guitar like Gordon Lightfoot used on a lot of his recordings. So it's like, wow, good enough for Gordon Lightfoot, good enough for me. Gosh, this guitar sounds good. They put new strings on it. The only thing that's not original on it is the strap button. Someone put a strap button on it. I would not have done that. I don't do that to my guitars. I use headstock straps, especially on these old timers. But look at this beautiful mahogany body. I mean, there's no buckle rash on it. There's a couple of dings in it, but just a gorgeous, gorgeous body on it. It's got the double line Kluson tuners on it. Yeah, this one was marked a second. I wanted to point that out also. Underneath the serial number, it's not made in USA back here, which would make it a later model. But the serial number is stamped in here, and there's a second on it. Now, I want to explain the seconds to everybody. The seconds are when they go out of the factory, if it had any little tiny imperfection, it is usually in the finish. You know, there's like a little finish that wasn't quite right, or it had a little run or a little speck or something, or they would call it a second. And I think they might have sold them a little bit less money than some of the others that didn't have that. I'm not certain of that, but that would be my guess why they would market a second. But at the age of these guitars, you would never ever be able to tell why they designated this one a second. But I want to point out that it is a second. There's a little boo-boo here. Looks like it might have been from a stand or something. But my goodness, I mean, look at the beautiful golden. I mean, these used to be white. That's what's so cool about these guitars after a while. They turn this golden amber color. Just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. The bridge, I just noticed, says made in West Germany. That's pretty cool. You know, it's just a gorgeous guitar. Absolutely fabulous. Truss rod works. We got truss rod cover on it. The beautiful Gibson with the inlays. Man, what a beautiful guitar. Now, we also have an original case for it. This is not a Gibson case, I'll point out, but it's certainly vintage correct and been with the guitar a long time. So might have been with the guitar. I can't speak to that, but it fits the guitar beautifully. As I said, it's a big guitar in there, and it's got this really pretty blue felt in here. It's got a accessory box. All the latches and hinges are on here, including the original handle. Fits the guitar great. It would be either a case like this or even the brown alligator-looking case, which we're used to seeing with the Gibson. So I say I don't think this is a Gibson case, but it could have been the case that the music store sent along with that guitar. So you get this awesome vintage correct case. You get that awesome 1967 Gibson B-45-12-N. The N stands for natural, by the way, as opposed to being a sunburst on it. And it's just gorgeous, sounds wonderful. Hope you enjoyed listening to it. I certainly enjoyed playing it for you. Check out all of our really cool guitars out at www.lawmanguitars.com. And hey, while you're here in our YouTube channel, hit subscribe. We've been having a ton of new subscribers. I'm really excited about that. And we're trying to hit 10,000. Wouldn't that be awesome for Lawman Guitars to have 10,000 subscribers? You could help us get there. Hit that subscribe button. And every month you'll see 5 more of these. We got 4 more to do today, and they're going to be really cool guitars. I can't wait to show them to you. Check them all out at www.lawmanguitars.com, and thanks so much for watching my demo. I really appreciate y'all.